I'm Anita. I lead a mental health NGO called MIASA, the Mental Illness Awareness and Support Association, right here in Malaysia. Thank you so much for being here, and I first and foremost would like to give a huge shout out to AVPN and also Yayasan Hasana for providing us with this platform, visibility, and also utmost support. Truly grateful to be here, present with all of you. A fairer world is a safer world, and that's a reality. Doing what is right, not what is easy. Telling the truth, even if this is something others don't want to hear, or it becomes uncomfortable, is essential for impactful change and growth. And I'm sure many of you know that mental health isn't merely a healthcare issue, but it is a social justice issue. Until we're able to address that, unfortunately, not everyone's recovery journey is going to be successful. And success, and it isn't success, if only some people are allowed to excel, because everyone deserves the chance to thrive, and we must enable this for everyone. And being MIASA, we are uniquely positioned in Malaysia, being a mental health advocacy and peer support group, founded and led by people with lived experience, is both rewarding and painful. From witnessing the stigma, discrimination, injustices, and human rights violations, to the debilitating effects of the condition, lack of treatment, help, support, and poor mental health literacy hinders the recovery of many in the community. And this is something that pains me every single day. What we see on the ground, it's hard and it's heartbreaking. And it's a cause that is very close to my heart. Now, 9 years ago, I was afflicted with a mental health condition. It left me feeling isolated, lonely and alone, crippled in my pain. I wasn't able to articulate what I was going through due to confusion, shame, and fear. And I found myself in a deep and dark hole, and that was when I understood why people ended their lives, with the sole intention of ending the pain. So what happened was, through that pain 9 years ago, I thought I had it all, guys. You know, I had a beautiful family, I had an amazing supportive husband, beautiful children, I had a great job, and I was traveling the world. But at that instant, everything spiraled out of control. It crashed at its core, and I crumbled. I lost functionality in life. I could no longer care for people around me. I could no longer care for people around me, especially, of course, my kids. Couldn't take care of the house, my job, everything became out of control. And this was really the time where I had one great disappointment, frustration, and regret, which was the inability to take care of my children. They were 3.5 and 5 during the time, and I still remember vividly watching my mom at this very one corner in the house where I felt the safest. And as a mom, you can't imagine the pain, watching my own mother taking care of my kids, feeding them, doing their school homework, revision, studying for exams, near, yet extremely far, and I couldn't do anything. Couldn't care for them, couldn't help them. And that was the point of time in my life that I felt completely defeated. And at that same spot one day, I felt, there was this thought that crossed my mind, intrusive, death. And I felt this instant calmness hovered over me, and I thought, now this is why people end their lives, that through death could only the pain end. And with that realization of that I could relate to that, I was truly shocked, and it prompted me to do the thing that I knew how, which was to pray. And in my prostration, I asked God to remove this affliction and pain. And I immediately told my mom, in which she said, "Why did you ask God to remove the affliction and pain? You should have asked him for patience and a way out." And so I felt shocked, and guilty. So I went back up, prayed in my prostration, said, God, I don't understand what I'm going through, what you're afflicting me with. Please grant me patience and please grant me a way out. No magic happened. I wasn't healed. Rather, it was a painful, slow, and rewarding and meaningful journey with lots of rock bottoms. And really what happened was, I think my biggest push, and let me tell you, there is a hope at the end of the tunnel, in which my husband came back one day after work and he said, you're not trying to get better. You're pushing everyone away. What you're doing is wrong. You should pull everyone closer to you. And I was shocked because here I was battling this pain and I thought I was doing enough. And that night I reflected, and then guess what happened? Anger kicked in. The greatest gift of all. And through that anger, guys, not anger towards anyone, but angry towards the illness because it crippled me. And that was when willpower came in. That ammo that I needed to be able to cross over to my recovery journey. And that was the hardest thing that I've ever gone through in my entire life, hands down. And my husband, my wife, my husband, my kids, and my mom are all my reasons. And so what happened was, through this journey, my husband was the one that suggested I went public with my condition, which I was utterly shocked because I said, aren't you ashamed or afraid that people might possibly think that your wife's crazy? And he said, well, I know you're not, and you might be able to help other people. At first I was really nervous, but then I thought, okay, I'm well along my journey that maybe I could be of help. And so what happened was, through the experience with my condition, with an idea that I had, I brought to the table for change. I was inspired and driven to bring alive the voices of my peers, and I wanted to make that difference. And that was how I initiated MIASA, the Mental Illness Awareness and Support Association, which is the first peer-led mental health advocacy peer support group in Malaysia, which we do advocacy in the nation and also globally. And so what has happened is, throughout this initiative, we started with building our support groups individually and also group sessions, and we impacted thousands, and we started to build a holistic approach to the recovery process and varied our support services ranging from peer support, family support, counseling, art therapy, art classes, expressive dance, speech and drama, outreach programs, counseling services, providing supported employment and job placement, and also connecting our peers to jobs and also to shelter homes. And we have impacted more than 7 million people up to date. And so what I hope and what we envision is that people that come through our doors will get the help, will get support, will have a safe space and place for them to go, and they're able to be empowered and recover effectively in the community. So what our work looks like in practice would be for Malaysia to have a supported living community where people are connected to jobs, shelter homes via supported accommodation, quality healthcare, social services, transportation in one place, replicated across the nation and elsewhere. But of course, we don't have the millions. So what I can offer you today is join me. Let's join hands. Let's offer support. Let's offer people love and care and a way out to show them that they matter, to show that humanity will prevail every single time in every single situation, because we can. No one should be afraid. No one should be ashamed living with a mental health condition in Malaysia or elsewhere. So all of you today have a role, and you can make an immediate change and impact, and we can build a better, fairer, and safer world for the future generation and the generations that follow. Let's build back better, guys, and let's build change better. Thank you very much.